Yo, some exciting news has come out about the Shorekeeper's kit, and oh my god, is it really good. Not bad for a support unit. So in this video, that's what we're gonna be talking about. I'm gonna craft my theories around it and, give my reactions about this latest information. However, do take these info with a grain of salt. So enough yapping, let's dive in. Let's go! Hello everyone and welcome to the latest video. Kamusta sa inyong lahat mga kapitbahay? Let's talk about this latest information coming from China beta or maybe beta around the world with regards to the Shorekeeper's kit, one of the characters that everybody is waiting for because she is the one coming in version 1.3. 5-star Resonator. As far as we know, she is going to be a support unit. And so far, based on what we've seen, it appears that that is indeed the case. Anywho, the information came from an uncle named Uncle CXL. So, we do not guarantee the reputation of this leaker and how accurate their leaks are. Thus, please do take these info with some trepidation, okay? So far, no confirmation has been provided by Kuro Games, okay? However, having seen the information, it's really interesting. And that is what we are gonna be talking about today. Of course, without revealing too much details about these kit. So, number 1, resonance skill. The Shorekeeper will summon a butterfly that locks on enemy targets or just a single target, not sure, and then damages them and then heals the party, your allies, based on the amount of damage dealt. Do note that the healing is based on the amount of damage dealt. So what this tells me is that the Shorekeeper most likely will be built around attack stats. Unless if her kit, her resonance skill, levels off of her HP or defense. So far, based on what I've read, it seems that it will be based off of attack stats. And in order for her to deal more healing, she has to deal more damage against enemies. Moving on to her forte circuit, the gimmick is going to be about the generation of cocoons. The explanation is a little vague and a little confusing even for me. But in a nutshell, basically she will generate cocoons that turn into butterflies, locks on enemies, and then deals damage at the same time buffing the attack percentage. I believe this is a party-wide attack buff. Plus, depending on how full her forte gauge is, there will be different effects that she will do. And the generation of these cocoons are going to be based off of her basic attack. So when you do her forte circuit, you will also have to do basic attacks as well. And each basic attack, it seems, will generate a specific amount of cocoons. So the more basic attacks you do, the more cocoons will be generated. In addition, depending on how full the gauge is, there will be a different effect or a different finale effect, okay? Also, note that it's possible because I can't imagine, okay, your forte gauge will only fill up once you've actually activated the forte gauge. So it appears that there will be a separate gauge for the amount of cocoons that she will generate. And that's what you will have to fill up during your forte circuit so that you can get the maximum number of cocoons on the field. Also note that there won't be any other buffs aside from an attack percentage increase. To me, it appears that this buff is only for the Shorekeeper. Now, I cannot get confirm that, but based on how it's written, it appears that it's gonna be a buff that will increase the Shorekeeper's attack. If that is the case, then that confirms the fact that the Shorekeeper will need a lot of attack stats in order for her to deal more damage and more heals and whatnot during combat. Now we go to her Resonance Liberation, her ultimate. The reason for this is because it appears that most of her buffs, like her big buffs, are actually gonna be during her Resonance Liberation. The skill actually has 3 levels. Number 1, okay, it appears that she will be off field during her liberation, and the levels are gonna be based on the incoming character's intro skill. So if one character triggers an intro skill, then one level will be activated. Now another character comes in, activates triggers their intro skill. So now 2 levels of her stacks are gonna be available, and so on and so forth. And it's up to 3. The first level, it's gonna be healing. The second level will be a crit rate increase. And the third level is gonna be a damage increase. So based on this, it appears that, okay, number 1, you need to time the characters that are coming next. Once she triggers her liberation, you have to think fast and switch to the character that you want to get healed, or the character you want to get a crit rate increase, etc, etc. Okay, now I'm not sure if she is also gonna trigger one of the levels when she activates her intro skill during her Resonance Liberation. I'm also not sure if the effects, the levels, are gonna stack up. Okay, so I cannot say for sure if only one character, only the character that intro skills during that liberation will get the healing buff or whatnot. I cannot say for sure. I can only assume that it is going to be a team-wide buff once all 3 is activated, or even just 2 is activated. It's going to become a team-wide buff. Everybody gets it, including the heals, crit rate increase, and damage increase. But that's just me. That's just my theory. Another thing is the possibility that her Resonance Liberation is actually quite long in order for you to take advantage of the buffs that she provided. Especially if only one character gets the buff for each level. It's quite possible that, let's say, she activates her Resonance Liberation, and then you brought in Zhezhi, okay? Zhezhi will get the healing effect, and then once you put in another character who activates their intro skill, let's say you paired them with Yinling, okay? Now Yinling will get the crit rate buff. Zhezhi will not get it, but Yinling will get it, okay? And then you bring back Zhezhi again, and now she gets the damage increase. That could happen. It's possible that that is the case. My hope, though, is that it's going to be team-wide, and it's just gonna stack, and it's gonna buff the entire team. So if that's the case, then if she activates her Resonance Liberation, you bring in Zhezhi. Zhezhi activates her intro skill. She gets the healing buff, and that will, continue, right? And then next you bring in Yinling again, and Yinling activates the crit rate buff. Now Yinling and Zhezhi will have the crit rate buff together, or I mean, like, the entire team will get it, and then you bring Zhezhi right back in. Now everybody gets the damage increase. Now with Zhezhi on the field, now you can do her Forte circuit for massive damage against your enemy or enemies. Anywho, that is the video. Hopefully this was helpful. I tried to explain it the best that I can without revealing too much detail or too much numbers associated with this kit. Okay. In addition, a lot of these are just my theory, my speculation that I've added onto what I've read. But so far, I find her kit really interesting. Hopefully, for example, her kit is gonna have like a good resonance skill because it's gonna heal, it's gonna deal damage, and it's gonna heal. It appears that she will need a lot of attack stats in order for her to deal damage and heals during combat. Also, her Forte circuit looks like it's gonna provide a buff only to her damage, and then her resonance liberation appears like it's going to provide stacks of buffs for the entire party. But that's me, that's just my hope for the resonance liberation. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 150. Let's get it to 150, please, guys. And if possible, maybe even get it to 1,000, if that is possible, that is. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and yeah, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.